Welcome back to another Thoughts On video, where I talk about Destiny releases as they come and go. This time we're talking about Season of the Wish, the final season of Destiny 2. Let's get into it. Season of the Wish adds 3 new activities: Riven's Lair, the Coil, and Starcrossed. The Coil is an increasingly difficult 4-part activity that allows you to find revive tokens, purchase buffs from Riven, and fight one of 6 bosses at the end of every part. Each of the 3 pathways are different and feature various debuffs meant to hinder your progress. The Vex path uses spike traps, the Taken path uses pervading darkness, and the Scorn path places poison clouds in your way. Riven's Lair is just an easier, one-path version of this. It is in my opinion that this is one of the more interesting activities, but it's also extremely frustrating. Not in terms of difficulty, just that it's extremely monotonous. This makes the Coil unfun and Riven's Lair feel more like an obligation even during its story mode versions. Similarly, I don't particularly enjoy Starcrossed. It doesn't feel like an exotic mission, and while the story is alright, it just doesn't salvage the activity itself from feeling like busy work that ends just as it gets interesting. At the very least, it gives out reissued Undying weapons. The HELM has once again been updated to reflect current seasonal events. What was once the Awoken Wing and Lost has once again become so after Rasputin's temporary stay in Seraph. Here is a portal that'll take you to the Keep of Voices where you can talk to Riven's spirit, who is the seasonal vendor. The room before that portal has another of Mara's thrones because she just can't help herself. Not only that, but it comes with a Witcher reference and a hologram of the Veil because the pyramids were replaced by that thing. That's it. In the wake of the ass pull that was last season's ending, we know what we must do. We head to the Dreaming City, get one of Riven's teeth, summon her spirit back despite her heart being right there, and make the final wish. Riven, however, denies it. She instead asks that we help her by recovering the last uncorrupted eggs of her brood and ensure that they remain safe. This is despite those eggs only being in danger this season because of our interest in finding them for her. Along the way, we find out that the Soul Divisive are now leading the charge because Bungie really only gave the Witness 2 dudes and a haphazard army of clones to be its forces. The Scorn are mindless drones just working off whatever directive is given to them, and because the Witness is out of bounds and Xivu Arath somehow lost her power despite the Throne World thing, you know what, never mind. Point is, the Taken and Scorn are mindless drones without a leader, and the Soul Divisive are trying to put in the work by doing some cryptic shenanigans like infusing themselves with darkness, because they just don't understand how to do that without taking forever. We get all the eggs, discover Riven had a mate, and then make the wish. Turns out it only lets one person go through, so we choose Crow because Mara has an innate link to him that will allow her to open a gateway to him without the need for that portal. So that's what happens. Now we wait because the final shape got delayed. This season is so boring. I'm sorry. I'm happy that Petra's back and that she and Crow can have a good back and forth. I'm happy that Mara's just done with everything. However, this is another season where the fate of the universe just doesn't matter because the character has to be petty and pray to Kingdom Come that we're competent enough to do some big task for them. Then there's the disrespect of Forsaken. The curse cannot be broken? Oh, okay, wow. Have we tried everything? No? Then shut the fuck up. I am so sick of this. At this point, I'm actively wishing for the Dreaming City to be sunset. At least then it'll be over. Am I the only one who actually cares about the blue people, or is the dragon that did all of that more important? Speaking of Riven, it's just straight up a different character. I don't know why every villain can't just be evil. But Shattered Throne was pretty clear that Riven wasn't just being evil for Savathun's sake. A lot of the decisions made were her doing. Cade's death was her, the Scorn was her, Uldren was all her. She doesn't get to have this little minor redemption. She's the same type of character as Mara and Savathun, and only Mara has done enough good to potentially justify it. At least Riven is finally gone. At the least, the Veil has some importance. That would be great is if we just figure out that it's sentient instead of dropping all these hints and being around the bush. What's that? It speaks an electromagnetic signal? I wonder what other entities do that. Only the ones literally made of darkness? Wow, that's crazy. Jeez, if the witness is gone and these things are still talking, then the last city might be in for a reward for the dumbest faction. The best part of this season was the final cutscene. For a story with sauce, it'd have been a perfect, quiet ending. However, here, it's a good quality cap on a jar without any sauce. Warlord's Ruin is a dungeon that's about a fortress overrun with the most annoying enemy type as well as the Taken. The boss is an Ahamkara's remnant that's perpetually pissed off. Kinda like me. The mechanics are pretty simple, and the story follows Fickrell's Scorn attempting to get more to join their ranks before the Taken just kinda, I don't know, get them? My thing is that the Taken are mindless because the witness is out, but they're supposedly trying to take those Scorn and bring them to its side. I don't know, I just work here. The dungeon's okay. The armor is great. I just need to play it more. For the last season of Destiny 2, this is legitimately mediocre. I know this year is just to fill the gap between Nightfall Part 1 and Part 2, but there's a huge sign here that just reads, Missed Opportunity. Defiance and Wish are the biggest examples of this. I'm glad for all the hints laid down and the lore Deep gave us, but man. What's funny is that despite everything, Year 6 is my favorite post-Beyond Light seasonal year. Yeah, that's how much I hate Splicer and Plunder's story. I'm just tired. Not even just Destiny, but everything. This is just icing on the cake. I'll start working on the final thoughts on Destiny. The epilogue for this season will also be covered there, and so will Into the Light. But yeah. That's all. I'm gonna play some Helldivers.